Hello, my name is Matthew Williams, and today I will be telling you a true story about the day I almost lost my life. So, it all starts as a young kid when my mother would always tell me, Matthew, you really gotta start, getting on time and stuff, leaving early for stuff, and just quit being lazy. Because even as a kid, I'd always say I have to be somewhere at 7 p.m. and it's 5 minutes away. I would leave at 6:55. I would not leave early. I just refused to. So, anyways, that kind of became a habitual routine from a young age. So, and I mean, I didn't really experience any negative side effects other than the fact of just being late sometimes to things. But so whether it be sporting events or practice or anything in general, I would just leave at the very last possible second, whether it be out of laziness or just a lack of initiative or just not wanting to go to whatever it was is beyond me, but that's just always how I was. So it didn't really get bad until I got my first job when I was around 16. And then I definitely got in the habit of leaving, because my job was about 15 minutes away. So say I had to be there at 4, I would leave at 3:45, and sometimes later and have to rush to work, maybe driving a little over the speed limit. And so, as I said before, this was just part of my routine. This wasn't a fluke. It was just everyday routine, running late. So my mom got on me more and more over the years. Never really listened to her because, I always said it was my life, and I'm showing up every day. So I got a new car last year in August and saved up a bunch of money for it and things like that. It was a new car. And my mom continuously told me, Matthew, you got to leave earlier for work. Especially I got a new job position where I'd be at work at 6 a.m. in the morning. And I'm not by any means an early riser. So my mom really tried to ingrain it in my brain to wake up early. And as I said before, I didn't listen to her. And she told me, she's like, Matthew, one day it's going to come around to bite you in the butt. And I was like, okay, well, let's see when that day happens. And so one day I woke up for work late, of course, and it was in the winter, and I live out in the country, and it was snowing really bad that morning. So I left I had to be at work at 6. I left late, of course, at 5:40 something, just enough time to make it to work, not even accounting for the poor road conditions. There's snow covering the ground. So I definitely, on the way to work, was going faster than the conditions allotted. There was definitely snow on the ground, and I was just not being as careful as I should have on the road. And so I was approaching a car that was going probably about 20 miles an hour, and I was going substantially more than that. And the car was going a lot slower than I expected, and I was approaching the car because I was going faster than that, of course. So I was approaching the car rapidly, but I didn't really understand how slow the car was going. So I got about 200-300 feet away from it, and I thought to myself, oh, this car really is going slow. And instead of pumping the brakes and tapping the brakes like you're supposed to, which I know to do, when I was approaching the car that fast, kind of my common sense just got thrown out the window. So from my recollection, I slam on the brakes, which doesn't make any sense. I would never do something like that, especially when there's snow on the ground, because it just locks up your brakes and does the complete opposite of what you want it to do. And so I hit the back of the car and went in a cornfield, and basically totaled my brand new car and basically just financially messed myself up for a period of time. And messed my new car up that I did all this stuff to and spent all this money on. And I have a new car now, but all because I wouldn't leave early and take the initiative to leave work on time. And on a day like that, when there's snow on the ground and it's snowing, I should have left a lot earlier. Give myself extra time to get to work. Either that or just take the loss and just be late to work instead of rushing and putting other people's lives on the line on the road. But instead, I took the initiative to leave how I usually would for work and rush to work. And as my mother said, it came to bite you in the butt. So this is a big learning moment for me, because obviously it was not worth leaving late and taking that risk. So I learned, number one, listen to my mother, because about 75% of the time she's right. And number two, be on time to things, or actually be early. But at the bare minimum, be on time. Just